Hey students, wanted to walk through this assignment. It's the 1, 2, 3 summary of the progressive era. Um, I wanted to start out with this little picture because this is a picture of some kids that are not much older than you working in a glass factory in Indiana in the early 1900s. This is one of the things the progressive era fought for, is to get child labor abolished, to get rid of child labor. Too many kids were getting hurt. Kids weren't getting an education. And so it doesn't take very long. And that's one of the things that the progressives work for. Um, if you're one of those that wish that you could go out and get a job and work 14-hour days, unfortunately, you were born in the wrong century. Um, your job right now is to make sure you're getting an education so that you can grow up and have a good job. So I want to read through this. This is the opening part. If you want to open it up, or you can just follow along with me. American cities sizzled with energy for the first years of the 20th century, meaning the 1900s. Overnight, dirt roads became rowdy neighborhood streets filled with farm families, immigrants, African Americans from the South, who poured into the cities. In 1908, a young Brooklyn teacher described her third grade class as in a letter to her mother. There are 28 students in my class. 6 speak English. The rest speak 8 other languages, of which I know a few words of only 3. We use sign language and get along the best we can. Students, during this time, this is a great, great time of immigration. Many other countries in the world are being taken over by different governments. Their governments are not treating them right. They're being discriminated against. And so they're coming to America to find the American dream. And what happens is when they get to here to America, they're finding that they're being discriminated against also. And that's why the progressives are so important, because they are going to fight against businesses that are doing bad things. They're going to fight against businesses that are treating people poorly. Here's the next paragraph right here. New inventions changed the way nearly everyone lived. Between 1875 and 1825, Americans were introduced to electric lights, movies, radios, telephones, bicycles, airplanes, subway trains, typewriters, washers and dryers, irons, refrigerator, cars, and tractors. I mean, think about how that would just change your life with all these types of inventions. And also think about, what are some inventions that are changing your life today? In my class, we were talking about how drones are going to change people's lives. Amazon is talking about using drones to try and deliver packages. Can you imagine if there was just, instead of the big trucks, we had drones flying over? What about self-driving cars? Those kind of things. Those are all going to happen in your lifetime, and it's going to make things much different. Engineers use new ways of making steel to send buildings up into the clouds and stretch bridges across even the widest rivers. They built one steamship that was 4 blocks long. It was called the Titanic. I'm not sure if you understand what 4 blocks is, but think about in your neighborhood, if you went from 1600 west to 20th west, 200 west, or 2000 west, that's 4 blocks. I shouldn't have to say, but that's a huge ship, and it still sunk. By 1800, nearly 20% of all workers were 15 and younger. The most beautiful sight we see is a child at labor, said the founder of Coca-Cola Company. I'm going to read that quote again because I hope you kind of feel a little uneasy about it. The most beautiful sight we see is a child at labor. Families became to depend on the incomes of the children, who worked long hours and struggled to stay awake in increasingly powerful machines. We don't have many accidents, one mill owner told the government investigator. Once in a while, a hand gets mashed or a foot, but it doesn't amount to anything. The children fought back, young mill workers, stitchers, miners, newsboys, and even golf caddies joined and led strikes for higher pay, shorter hours, and safer conditions. It may be that the young Americans never worked or played harder or suffered more than in their tough, raucous years of the 20th century. Okay, so on this assignment, I'm going to go back. On this assignment, this is the link to the opening chapter. That's what I just read. Here's your link to the assignment. You're going to be reading through 2 of these, okay? So you can choose, it doesn't matter which ones, but you're going to pick 2 of these and fill out the assignment for these. You're basically summarizing what's happening in the story. This one is about the newspaper deliverers, the people that sold the newspapers. They go on strike against the big newspaper editors and publishers. Pretty big deal. There's actually a Disney movie that came out in the 70s and 80s about the Newsies. This is a girl that led a strike against the Pullman train car factory. This is Rose, who worked in a sweatshop. A sweatshop is a place where they make clothes, and they have to have really poor conditions and different things. And then this number 4 is a breaker boy. It's a boy that works in the coal mine, and his job is to pull out the coal, the rocks that are not coal as it comes by on a conveyor belt. And so he has to pick those rocks off, and it starts to cut his hands, so he doesn't want to go back. His mom says, no, you have to go back because we need the money. His boss, if they get too slow, hits him in the back of the head with a broom. Anyways, pretty bad story. So on this assignment, 1, 2, 3 summary, pick 2 of the stories, read through them, summarize, turn it in. Have a great week. Please contact me if you have any questions. See ya.